the City. What is going on, St. Louis City fans? Welcome back to Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media. Today is a beautiful Monday. It is September the 25th, and St. Louis over the weekend defeated Minnesota United 2-1 in a phenomenal comeback in a way that we don't typically see from St. Louis. Guys, do you have a one-word summary to wrap up this match, if you could put one word on it?
Wet.
I will use a hyphenated word of confidence booster, really 2 words. But yeah. I think this is exactly what we needed heading into our final 3 games. A comeback win on the road. Just amazing to see.
Bust out of that week away form just like that.
It's good to see like the main hitters come in and just be like, we got this. It's not even a problem.
It was what I was looking for in the Sporting Kansas City game, actually, was like, and I tweeted it, it was like, 2 DPs to still come on, and I was like, this game is what I was expecting to see out of the Sporting Kansas City game.
Yeah.
But, hey, 3 points on the road is beautiful.
I'll take it any day.
Blom's goal, beautiful.
Oh,
yeah, and there's some beef.
I would say it's goal of the month.
There's some beef on Twitter with the Cincinnati fans.
Those bastards.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the other goal, so I can't tell. It's not that
good. I mean, it's okay. I mean, he dribbles like a 40-yard run, but he's basically running at 2 defenders. They are just running back towards their own goal. Don't challenge him. He doesn't like beat any of them really. He just like kind of goes back and forth, and they're just running backwards. But it like put a challenge on the ball, and he gets into the box and he shoots, and it goes over the goalie's head and it's in. I mean,
was it placed? Like Bloms was he chopped up his guy at the top of the box and then placed his perfectly top bins.
Yep.
So can't beat that. I don't know.
100%.
Kind of weird game. I mean, like we started off a little bit slow. Just didn't have our A team out there. It was Joachini up top, Ostrak playing the 10 behind him, Stroud on the right, Pompeo on the left. Vasilov and Blom, they looked pretty solid.
Yeah.
Linking up in the middle. Our back line, I actually really liked our back line, even though it was like not the A team. Nervinsky, Yarrow, Bell, Hebert, they all looked pretty solid for like it being a wet marsh out there.
Yeah.
Just it's tough for a defender to pick up on these skipping balls, and I thought they did well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I said it at halftime that Nervinsky's looking revitalized, and then he provides an assist in the second half. So
did you tweet it though?
I did tweet it.
Oh,
I have
timestamps.
Yeah, we did get timestamped, and a lot of people went back and found that, and were like, "Yep, FTM knows ball."
Yeah. Honestly, we probably should have been down in the first 4 minutes of this game because Sungbin deemed the Korean Mbappe early on. And once you go back and look at his stats, he's got like 1 goal, 1 assist through like 22 games. So not quite on that level, but he definitely should have scored in the first minute. If you guys saw that chance where he's just like blazes behind Nervinsky and Yarrow, gets in the box and just shoots right at Berkey on the ground.
I thought that was kind of Nerwinski's fault, actually, for letting him run in, because you saw the ball kind of get knocked past Yarrow.
Yeah.
And they're like two forwards running after the ball, and Nerwinski just like slowed down because I guess he thought Yarrow was going to get to it, but what's it? Sungbin just dusted Yarrow. Honestly.
He was rapid, honestly. He just doesn't have the numbers behind him, but
only a .05 xG on that. I
think I looked that up. It's because he shot it right at Berkey. He probably should have had like a higher xG on that
post-shot model.
Post-shot was .04
because it was right at him.
Well, and
that's stupid.
The initial chance was .05.
Why? Okay, well then I don't understand.
I mean.
He was
in the
pretty
box.
much.
Yeah, you would think it's a better
in on goal,
higher xG, but
yeah.
Speaking of John Bell and how well that whole back line did, 23rd minute, he played a great little ball over the top of everybody. And Ostrak, I'm trying to find some positives for Ostrak. We're trying to boost his confidence going into the playoff picture. You know what I mean? Like, obviously not a starter, but we also need him, you know?
Yeah.
He does really well to bring the ball out of the air and settle it with his first touch. And then
he back heels to Celio running in behind him. Celio, I felt like that also should have been a goal.
Mhm.
But am I being too harsh there? Like, the keeper came out.
Don't ask me because I didn't get to see the first half. I'm waiting for the second half excitement.
I saw that chance. I think Celio, I mean, he placed it bottom left. He tried, and the goalie saved it. I think he had Gio open, though, right next to him in the box, and he probably would have had a better, like, angle. He was, like, right in the middle. The goalie would have had to come back across to save Gio's shot. So if I was Celio, I probably would have passed it.
I think he took the right chance by shooting, but he had an XG of 0.52 on that chance. So
That's pretty good.
You kind of expect that one to go in. It's okay though. He played well enough to not get subbed off.
Yeah.
He looked dangerous throughout the whole game.
Won the most duels, 9 out of the match.
There you go. Way to go, Celio.
Respect.
Cook mode.
Yeah. There's one Stroud chance that I remember, and it was kind of like, it was pretty shitty. We don't even talk about it. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Went right at the keeper. Moving right along.
Hey, you know what? Jared Stroud ran really hard in this game.
As he always does.
Yep.
His calling card.
Halftime comes and goes, and then 46th minute, there's like a ball headed in towards Berkey, and Berkey looks like he's got things handled and he's going to come out there and get it. But I think because of the rain and because Dotson was like coming in on him, he just
Slips
whiffs.
out.
Yeah, he just like
hits
smacks
it down, or
he
like he
smacks
drops
that
it.
initial chance, and
Gives him a bit of a hug in the box.
yeah, kind
Gives
of
him a bit of a grope.
gives him a bit of a
one might say.
cock grab, one might say.
A fondle.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
you think it was
Yeah.
a pen?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Definitely
I
a
agree.
pen.
And honestly, I saw some tweets saying that he probably should have gotten a red card for that, for denying a clear goal-scoring chance.
Could have.
Because, I mean, the guy was running past Berkey to get to the ball, and Berkey grabbed him and held him back.
Yeah.
So
Could have been.
that would have really changed the game.
Maybe.
I think it would have been a harsh red.
I think it would have too, but I could see where people would argue that.
Yeah, he gets away with one,
Yeah.
potentially. And he almost saves the penalty yet again. He keeps getting close on these penalties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if it was because it was wet. Like, he just, like, his arm hits it. I don't
It
know.
was blasted, to be fair. It was a well shot pen.
Yep, and that's just about all you can really expect from Timo Pukki. Truthfully, I tweeted
Yeah.
it after the game, and I said, thank you, Lutz, for being a sporting director who will never sign a DP like Timo Pukki. I just don't care.
He's 33.
33,
And he's
couldn't
got-
make it in the Premier League. I just don't care.
He was okay in the Prem. Like, it's a
Mm.
Got
tough
relegated.
league.
Yeah,
Tough- okay,
arguable.
he was with Norwich, so
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
garbage team.
But I feel like going back to Berkey, if he has one downside, it's that sometimes he will fumble the ball in moments. You saw that one chance early in the season when there was like the cross and he dove out and he should have caught it. It was like pretty close to him. And he like let it go through his hands.
Yeah.
And
What
then
was the
there's
other one?
the
Colorado
Dallas.
Rapid. Oh, Dallas.
Or
We were
was it-
supposed to have a clean sheet, and
Yeah,
he just
in, like,
he
the
comes out in the
90th
last minute.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I know what that fixture is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not too often. It's not often enough to where I think you... But yeah, I do see what you're saying. It's
That's the one slight complaint that I have. And if Ian were here, he would say, yeah, that's why I called him Swiss cheese.
It was the Dallas game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah. I don't know.
We
It was
still love
wet.
him.
It
Yeah.
was like it's tough conditions out there.
Definitely.
Overall.
I'm surprised
So-
the game. I was expecting the game to be delayed. They were showing. Somebody said St. Louis's third kit should be a weather like radar map of like rain. And it's like always
Okay.
the red and the yellow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
like the-
yeah,
Yeah.
the radar.
Radar.
St. Louis's third kit should be the dark blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it should have. I think it should be like the St. Louis flag, and it's got the rivers converging with the
Yes.
yellow and the red.
Yes.
That'd be so fire. Yes.
I don't know why we're not allowed to control our own third kit. It's got to be like, are we allowed to make our own just like for fun? I don't know. I don't even know.
The ML. I mean, you have to hit a certain number of jersey sales before the MLS, and I don't know if the MLS commissions you a jersey because like the Atlanta third kit this season is mad ugly. The graffiti jersey, I do not like that one.
That was created by them.
I think
Or was
so,
it
but I'm
created
not
by MLS?
I'm not sure. That's a
No.
good question.
I feel like everything MLS created has been kind of dog water. It's been
pretty
like
mid.
the freaking turquoise or turquoise one.
Yep, hate that one.
Yeah, it's not good.
And plastic waste. I mean, the message is cool, but I think that's what happens when you have one kit sponsor for the entire league. It's just like they get to really just do whatever they want and sell you just more bullshit.
In baseball, they have the City Connect jerseys where it's like connected with the city and like something related to
The
the
NBA
actual team.
The
And
NBA
it,
has that too,
yeah,
the city edition.
and it looks so cool. Like some
Yeah.
of them are really, really cool. I think MLS should take note.
Yep.
Well, according to this article, it says that this year is the first year that Adidas has sanctioned third kits for MLS teams, and only 4 teams got a third kit, which were New York City, New York Red Bulls, Atlanta United, and Toronto.
Who determines that? Adidas is like
Well, it
you're
goes on
allowed to have
say-
it.
It goes on to say the exact criteria of what a team needs to do to earn a third kit remains undisclosed.
What?
But it is believed that teams must sell more than 100,000 kits during a specific time frame.
That was the
You
original
don't think
figure
St.
that I saw.
Louis has done that as like their inaugural?
I heard we were
sold
breaking
a ton
records.
of jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard we broke some records for jersey sales, but I don't know.
Maybe we look for that in our second season.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what jerseys we come out with next year.
You think we'll stay with like
It'll stay.
the classic 2 that we have right now?
I think
The
we're
pink will stay the same.
Okay.
Yeah, home pink for sure.
The away could change.
Yeah, we could see a navy away kit next year.
Oh, I would love a navy away.
Yep.
Or a yellow. That's one of our colors.
Yeah.
A full yellow though, like
Yeah.
I
I
see. I
I
mean,
would
you see
hate it.
Berkey's McDonald's kit,
I know,
like,
it
and
does look
nobody
like
really likes that
Ronald.
one too much. I don't know. I actually don't hate it on Berkey for like a goalkeeper kit,
Yeah,
but if
but-
there was if there were 10 men out there with that on there, I'd be like, this is kind of hard to watch. Yeah.
Highlighter team.
51st minute, Celio draws like a little soft foul out on the left side in the Minnesota third, and Vasilev whips in a beautiful ball to the penalty area. Joa gets his head on it. You guys remember that chance? And
I
it
think
just
so.
busts wide.
Yeah, wide right.
Yeah. I kind of thought he should have scored that, but it's coming in from like behind him. Like
Those
it's-
are always harder than they look.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. So that was just another notable chance that we had. Then 58th minute, all the subs come in. We had let me run it through.
Talk about super substitution.
Yeah.
Just bringing out the entire arsenal all at once. Because it was what, AZ, Lowen, and Klauss in the first
Yes.
batch of subs.
It was Lowen for Indiana, João Klauss for Stroud, and AZ for Ostrak.
Just a mind-blowing substitution that we can do that.
Yeah.
Beautiful subs.
Yep.
And
Right
pretty-
on time, I felt like.
Pretty much right after that, we took control of the game.
And I
It
feel
was-
like Klauss has gotten a lot better at making the right sub in the past like 2 or 3 games. at
Carnell?
least. Yeah, Carnell.
Yeah. I would agree. It's like right when we need it. It's earlier too. Like this
Yeah.
was 58th minute.
That's
Yeah.
a perfect
ready
time
to
to
go.
make your
Yeah,
first
he knew.
sub.
Yeah, down 1-0. Got to give the big boys a chance to at least like edge their way into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give them some time too. If you put them on at the 70th minute, like there's only 20 minutes left at that point.
The team
Massive
looked
Carnell
completely
W.
different though. Like I don't know if I couldn't tell if we were playing a 4-4-2, if it was more like we definitely had 4 in the back, then like maybe diamond midfield with Joa as like the 9, like or the false 9. I don't know. It was Klauss was up. It was a mix. I saw AZ playing striker. I saw Klauss playing striker. I saw Joa playing striker. All at once it seemed. So tough to tell what the formation was there. But it only took him 5 minutes since all those guys came in. Lowen passes out to Nervinsky on the right side. Klauss immediately because Klauss thought he was going to get the ball. As soon as he sees that he didn't get it, he just goes straight
to the penalty spot.
Straight
Yep.
to the penalty spot. And Jake and him had just their clairvoyance on 10 right there, and Klauss just dunked on that defender, gets
big
way
time.
up and just heads it home. Massive goal. That's Klaus's 3rd goal in his last 4 games. So
And I think
Man on
Celio
fire.
and Gioacchini both need credit for making their runs into the box.
yeah,
Because they both kind of like split leaving Klauss alone in the middle, and it took 2 defenders away. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it was great.
Klauss was just about free at
The
that penalty spot.
the off-ball movement was unreal by all 3 of those players.
Yep,
So
seriously. It was a great understanding because, I mean, I know like when we play soccer and there's someone about to whip in across, it's like 3 people make the same run to the same side.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, just knowing where everyone's going to go on your team is just really
Yeah.
great to see.
Also, just got to give it up for Jake Dervinsky. We
Great
have been
ball.
very critical about the fullbacks and their deliveries into the box. Jake Dervinsky played a very nice ball.
I
Yeah,
think he took
silky.
it personally that he got benched for Akil Watts.
Good.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to win a spot back. And honestly, I feel like he's probably done enough for at least for Carnell. I
Do you
feel
think he starts the Sporting game?
I don't know. That's a good question. Who's their left winger?
I think. Oh, it's not Johnny Russell.
Let me look
Yeah,
him up.
Johnny
Johnny
Russell's
Russell's
on
going
the
to be
right.
suspended.
And he's
by the
suspended.
way.
Yeah, he's suspended anyway.
Do you guys see that red card he got?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Kivincho was saying clean tackle, all ball. If you say anything else, you don't know soccer. So it was a proper CONCACAF challenge, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it was studs up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely slid in. He got the ball first, but his foot was like on top of the ball. Studs went right into the guy's like shin and calf.
Yeah,
Definitely could have like snapped his leg in half probably.
definitely. And I think the only redemption that they have to say maybe not is that the MLS frequently misses those.
That's true.
That I've seen many studs up challenges that the MLS does not review, and the player gets to continue on after going studs up into somebody. So
It is saying that Johnny Russell is their left winger on FOMOB.
Who's on the
So,
other side?
Shelton, their number 11, is out there.
I just remember in Kansas City it was Johnny Russell on Marcanic, so he would have been Johnny Russell would have been on the right.
Yeah, he was cooking Mark.
Normally, I think Johnny Russell's left-footed, so it would make sense for him to be on the right.
Yeah.
Saloy was the guy on the left when we played him.
Yep. That makes sense.
65th minute. This is not really like a full chance, but I just like to see it because it exemplifies Blom and how good of a game he had. I feel like you don't talk about him in the highlights all the time because he's just coming up big and having clearances whenever we absolutely need him. But he had a great pressing interception in like the Minnesota United third, and he passed it off to Klauss, who just unleashed this missile clean strike right at the goalkeeper. Wasn't a whole lot of XG on that one, but I just like to see it, like that we're ripping from range and testing the keeper.
Yeah, Klauss put some meat on that one.
Oh my gosh, that ball was hit
hard.
Yeah.
On a rope.
Yeah, and then not too long after that, 72nd minute, AZ, our press was going crazy. Once we put in those 3 players, our press was unreal, and part of that was Lowen. He pressed really hard and like kind of knocked the ball loose off a defender, and AZ picks the loose ball up, drives to the goal line, passes back to the top of the box. Blom's waiting there. Chop, chop. Little chop cheese.
Bombazo. Bing bong. South Africa is fucking celebrating right now. I know they are.
Dude,
Yeah.
that might have been like my favorite goal. That might be my favorite goal of the season so far. Like just in terms of like class and like where he put it to go up late game.
First career
Away.
goal.
I actually can't say that. My favorite goal of the season, definitely Klauss versus Austin.
Oh,
Late.
first game.
On Trivella.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that, but Blom, shout out to Blom, man. He really deserves a goal for all the work he's done this whole season. They said it on the broadcast. City has lost 10 games.
8 of them.
7 of them were
Blomless.
without Blom starting. So, yeah.
He's
Sounds
the
about
anchor.
right.
That might be a cherry-picked stat because there were a lot of other players missing during that stretch that Blom didn't
It's
play.
true.
But it's still, I mean, it holds some weight.
It's how we've always felt is
Yeah.
that like without him, nobody's
Yeah.
tying down the midfield
Yeah.
very well. So I would agree with that.
And he's
It's
been
not
kind
too
of like, he's
cherry-picked.
been putting in some like lackluster performances recently.
Yeah.
Looking like maybe a little fatigued throughout the season. I don't know, maybe the rain, the Minnesota. I don't know what did it. He was
It's
sharp.
probably nice and cool up there in Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
Bofana.
What else happened? I mean, not a whole lot. There was like one little scramble. Minnesota almost scored in like the last dying moments of this game. You guys remember that? There was a free kick into the box, and then it was headed into the box, and then Jake Nowitzki coming up it. I mean, he did head
horrifying.
it. It was scary. He headed it right into a Minnesota player, and then it deflected out of bounds, and it was over.
He like headed it into like a cluster of people
Yeah.
right on the goal line. And the fact that it didn't just like somehow bounce into the goal is honestly a miracle to me.
Yeah.
Like that play was not good.
When
by
people,
Jake.
and people were saying that and I agree that the foul that led to that chance did not seem like it was a foul on Klauss, and it just did not seem like anything. It didn't seem like he handled it. He like strips a defender for the ball.
Yeah, it was pretty weak.
But 2-1, we're taking that all day, every day of the week.
That was Israel Jackson's previous club, and he got the assist
Yeah,
for the game
we
winner.
love to see it.
Definitely. I'm trying to remember if I don't think he even played in the first Minnesota fixture. Maybe he subbed on because he was not in that. We hadn't really seen anything out of him for the first home Minnesota fixture. That was what snapped our 5-game win streak, I believe.
Yep, it is.
So it's nice for him to get an opportunity against his former club. And I'm especially excited for when Seattle comes to town and hopefully Big Sam gets his moment against his former club.
We didn't see Big Sam in this game at all, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yep, that red card. Maybe Carnell was like, "You gotta chill, brother. We're gonna sit you down for a little."
Or
while.
maybe he's just resting him. He has played a lot, and
in Klauss's absence.
Yeah. So who knows? St. Louis City sits atop of the West with 53 points. The next two teams are LA and Seattle. They've both played 30 games, and we've played 31. So,
and they're 8 points behind us.
They're both 8 points behind us. Yeah.
I think we just need 4 points to seal first in the West. Is what I was seeing.
I was looking at a table earlier today that was breaking down like playoff chances because I was trying to figure out if Minnesota like really bottled it and like lost any hope of making the playoffs. And they basically have. They have like very little. They have maybe like a 12% chance, I think is what the table said. But then for us, it said there was this 86% chance that we win the West. So
solid.
It's looking good, bro. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Seattle plays Nashville next. That's really good.
Oh, big L.
Alpha.
But then they play LA Galaxy, Vancouver, then us. So if they drop points against Galaxy or Vancouver, they're definitely not winning the West.
Nope.
And they're probably going to drop against Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nashville's good.
Yep.
I wonder what
Daddy Mukhtar.
Let's see what LA's schedule looks like coming up here. They have
Salt Lake.
What? They have
four games.
Tigres. They're playing
that's CCL or
yeah, it's Campeones Cup.
yeah, that's not MLS.
No,
Yeah.
but they still have to play them though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah, they got Salt Lake, Minnesota, Austin, and Vancouver.
And that Salt Lake, Minnesota, Austin is 3 games in 1 week,
Oh damn.
which is good.
But that is kind of an easier schedule than what
Austin's
City
not
has to
that
go through.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Salt Lake,
They have their moments. I think
Yeah.
they're
They've been
sitting.
they've been having.
They're
some
sitting
problems.
fifth. They're sitting fifth, so they're not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
They're actually only 2 points behind LA. Yeah.
Is that the team with Savarino?
Yes. And I
Did
think there
you
was
see that he was left out of the squad
for
on the-
personal reasons.
Yeah, and
What
then
does
he
that mean?
responded. Well, he responded to the tweet by Real Salt Lake, like official club, that said he was left out due to personal reasons. And he responded. And he said, "What personal reasons?"
Whoa.
Yeah, that
That's
blew
like
up.
a little Ten Hag Sancho situation
Big
going
time.
on. Dang.
Well, I heard there were some transfer rumors with him, which is what I wonder
Oh.
if it's related to that.
Maybe.
That's so funny when you reply with your own personal Twitter to the team you play for. I wonder if have you seen any City players do that yet?
I mean, nothing outside of like hyping up maybe a
Yeah.
goal for themselves or like a big post on clinching the West, like
yeah.
or the playoffs this season. Nothing crazy.
I think I know the answer to this question, but who was your man of the match?
Jobs.
Yep, got to be Njablo Blom.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
But the full 90, 2 for 2 with accurate long balls, 0 dispossessions, which I feel like we say that often. He never loses the ball.
Yeah.
When he's on it.
He's so good at holding on to the ball.
So good. And he's smaller than these other players who are like trying to body him, and he just manages to get away. 2 clearances, 3 interceptions, won 5 of his 8 ground duels, and he scored the winner in the 73rd. I feel like there's no argument. It's all him.
Yep.
So
all him.
Yeah.
Well, before we move into SKC pregame, we did a little bit of fun stuff on Twitter. We asked you lovely folks at home what topics you wanted us to discuss here on this podcast today. And so we handpicked a couple questions that we're going to break down for you guys. Right off the bat from Thomas Welch over at The Rhythm STL wanted us to steelman the argument for Roman Berkey MVP.
It's tough for being a goalkeeper.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So there's only ever been one goalkeeper to win MVP in the MLS. It was Tony Maola for the Kansas City Wiz in 2000. His stats were very impressive. 16 clean sheets, 81.7% save percentage, 129 saves, only 29 goals conceded in 31 games. Now, I'll give you Berkey's stats through 31 games. 8 clean sheets, 74.5% save percentage, 114 saves, 39 goals conceded. So when you go and you look at the other goalkeepers, Berkey clears. It's not even close.
Yeah.
74.5% save percentage and 114 saves are the highest among MLS goalies. There are 4 goalies who have 11 clean sheets, so 3 more than Berkey, but they face far less shots on target than Berkey. The highest is Sirois for Montreal, and he only has 84 saves. So massive disparity there.
Dang, so St. Louis is getting ripped on is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
So that's big for Berkey's case.
Yeah.
Secondly, both Lucho Acosta and Hani Mukhtar this season. Lucho Acosta currently has 15 goals, 12 assists. Mukhtar 15 goals, 10 assists. It's not that phenomenal for MLS MVPs in the past. 2018, Josef Martinez had 31 goals, 6 assists. 2019, Carlos Vela had 34 goals, 15 assists.
Whoa.
And 2022, Hani Mukhtar had 23 goals and 11 assists. So I think Berkey has a chance. I think if we can keep clean sheets in these upcoming games, I think if he can bolster his save percentage a little bit, maybe face a couple shots on target, I think he actually has a decent chance for MLS MVP.
That's crazy that the Golden Boot winner had 31 goals in the past seasons, and like our top scorer has 15 right now at the end of the. That is really wild.
Yeah.
Does that include playoffs though?
I don't think so.
Wow.
I do not think so. Yeah, no, I was definitely looking at regular season stats. So I think it bodes pretty well for Berkey. I think if any year a goalie was going to win it again, this is pretty close for him. I think 3 clean sheets in our last 3 games might be able to do it for him.
Yeah, good job, Riley. That actually, you did steel man that. I was sitting there like, no way. Like I love Berkey, and when we signed him, Lutz was all like, you need a strong goalkeeper to solidify the team, and I'm like, do you though? Like,
Come on, be real.
Yeah. And I was like, that's just a goalkeeper. That's the goalkeepers union talking right now, because Lutz was a goalkeeper as well. But honestly, man, like Berkey's kind of saving us now that I realize how much we've been shot on compared to the rest of the MLS. That's big numbers for Berkey. I hope he wins MVP.
That would be such a heart warmer. Like, my God.
So do you think that they factor in anything with the playoffs? Like, if we make a long run in the playoffs, would that increase his chances?
Probably not, because I think the way that they do MVP is normally based on the regular season. Maybe they'll do a MLS playoff MVP or something like that. That's what I would expect.
Something they would do.
That's like an American thing. Playoffs are an American thing. So
there's also a MLS Goalkeeper of the Year award.
Oh,
So-
well,
That's
that'll
a
be
shoe-in.
Yeah. So if he
Easily.
doesn't win MVP, at least he's getting his flowers
He's
somehow.
getting some silverware.
But kind of feels like baseball comp. Sorry, Cy Young. Like if you're the best pitcher, you win the Cy Young. Not a lot of pitchers win MVP. You know what I mean? Berkey kind of. I feel like goalkeeper to pitcher comp is happening right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's like an on-field, like an outfield player should be winning the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in soccer, really. Like Ballon d'Or. Like,
Yeah.
when's the last time a defender or goalkeeper have won? Like
Tragic, actually.
1980 something, 1990.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So it probably won't happen just because they're not scoring the goals, winning the games.
Yep. But Thomas Welch, that was for you. That's the steel man of Roman Berkey's
Hey,
MVP
I like
case.
it. Good shit.
Moving along, we had a question from St. Louis City Italians. The Italians
All
had a
of
question.
them.
All
Wow.
of them.
Wow.
They asked why the lack of South American players on our team outside of Klauss and Celio. Klauss with Hoffenheim prior to coming to St. Louis City.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we do any digging in South American leagues with our new Argentinian president GM Diego Gigliani, or will Lutz kind of stick with his EU Bundesliga like roots? What do you guys feel about that?
Well, Diego Gigliani has a different. He's not in charge of
No.
signing players, so
No.
that's the number one kind of thing I wanted to address there. Lutz is the guy who's in charge of pulling in players, and I think most of his network is in Europe.
Yep,
I mean, he's well connected to the Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2. He's clearly got some like Nordic connections too. The way we're pulling in Nokvi and Jensen
Alm.
was there. Alm,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably
Nielsen.
where we're gonna Nielsen. He was in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But yes, Swedish, right?
Swedish, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of Lutz's bread and butter, and I don't
Yep.
see him changing from that. But as far as the rest of the MLS goes, I feel like we're like a feeder system for the rest of South America, or we will be one, but maybe not St. Louis specifically.
I was gonna. And the other thing is, I feel like kind of the EU play style is what we're trying to rebuild here in St. Louis with like gegenpress, with the way that we play. It makes a lot more sense for us to go after players who have been trained in that discipline. Whereas South American football is always like the streets, like
Free flowing
Beautiful
football.
free-flowing
Yeah, and it's
right.
beautiful.
Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's
Yeah.
what we're exactly looking for.
We don't play beautiful football.
We play effective, efficient German football.
Yes.
Fußball.
Yes. I mean, I think the point about Gigliani, he probably does have connections.
Some effect.
Yeah, he does have
connections.
lots of connections, I'm sure. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we had a few signings. I mean, like Chris said, that's not his job. So he's not going to have as much of an influence as Lutz will. But, I mean, there's a chance.
Yeah, sure.
I think that we're going to emphasize, and Lutz has said it, and Carnell have said it, we're going to emphasize player development in St. Louis. So
Right.
I think we're going to see a ton of local, like Missouri region players coming through our academy more than we see us signing players from South America. But I don't know. Guess we'll see in the next few years. That's
Yeah.
just my take.
We can also
Yeah.
sign to the academy. So
Yeah, it's
But, I
true.
mean-
Go scalp some. Scalping a young player from South America might pan out pretty well and bring him into the system. I mean,
that's the Real Madrid approach.
you know what's so funny that you say that is I saw who was it? I can't remember if it was a Minnesota fan or if it was a Cincinnati fan. Somebody said St. Louis are Real Madrid.
I don't know about that one.
That's a horrible take.
I feel like St. Louis more like Barca in terms of like
No,
development
also.
academy. What's the Barca? It's
La Masia.
La Masia, yeah.
Hey,
that's
Real Madrid
what
has
St.
a
Louis is
good
gonna.
academy too. Don't disrespect them.
Is it as good as Barca? I'm asking a biased person right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't want to hear my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know enough La Liga to properly answer it. But so that's our take there for you St. Louis City Italians.
Good question.
Good
Yeah.
question.
Next question from Jack Olwig. What are your thoughts on the Lutz rumors today? It was
Oh.
announced 2 Saudi clubs were interested. We heard earlier in the season Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest and West Ham were both interested in. Can you see this project having future success if we lose a foundational piece like Lutz in the early years?
That is a great question. One, from what I've gathered about Lutz, he is big on his own, like he's got his own values that he runs his life by. That's why he didn't like sign for huge clubs when he played. Like he wanted to play in all around the world. Like that's his own value. That's his own core values that he's abiding by. And he has publicly said that the St. Louis project is the most interesting project in the entire world. He personally designed our training facility to be like, it's like a mastermind plan so that you have to walk past all these different physios and like training situations in order to get wherever you want to go into the locker room. So I don't see him leaving, even though the Saudi money is big and like obviously the allure of the Premier League, West Ham, Nottingham Forest. Lutz has his fingers all over this project. I don't know why he would want to leave. I really can't see that happening.
It's literally his brainchild. And like, there's no way he's going to go somewhere where he's going to be affected by outside people. He has been given full clearance to, sign the players he wants, build the club the way he wants. Yeah. And I saw something on Twitter that was like, he doesn't have a track record for sticking around, and it kind of showed his GM status, and he bounced around like every single year from like the late 1990s up until like I don't know, like the late 2000s. And yeah, he bounced around a lot, but this is something entirely different. So
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like it's kind of like working a job versus starting your own business.
Yeah,
like
that's a great analogy.
If you're just working some job for some random company and you're like, okay, they brought me in, go find some players, sign them, okay, whatever, don't care. But if you get to design the team and you're like, okay, every decision that I make matters, like this entire club's success performance is dependent on me, like you're just so much more invested.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm sure the Premier League money was better than what we're paying him when those clubs came knocking. And then the other thing is like going to do his job in Saudi, like he probably has unlimited funds. He could just buy whoever he wants. Like it just kind of takes the fun out of it. You know, it's like
manager mode, and you just like infinite money glitch.
Unlimited transfer budget.
It's like okay. you lose fun out of that after the first season. You're like, God, I already have Mbappe and Haaland, and the team is just already ridiculous.
I already have a super team. Now what?
So I think not too concerned about his, about outside interest in Lutz.
Second part of that question, though, can you see this project having future success if we do lose Lutz? Obviously, Lutz isn't going to be here forever.
Right.
But I think that he will stick around until it's gotten to a point where this is running on its own the way he envisioned it. And I think we will see future success throughout the years as long as we have the right guy come in and replace him,
The difficult thing would be if he left after the first year, which we don't see happening. The difficult thing would be like he builds this team in the first year and like has ideas for how it's going to progress and then leaves after the first year or after the second year. Mm-hmm. But it's just not. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think he's going to stick around and he's going to want to build it up for 4 to 5 years and get it running. So
at least 4 or 5 years.
And it's not like he really ages out of that job. You know, like especially if his success continues, like there's just going to be more and more demand. He's going to continue to get job offers. Like, there's all the incentive to stay here.
Plus, how can you leave after you have created this thing out of nothing and they are first in the West, and about to make a playoff run?
Like, even if we get knocked out first round of the playoffs, like that's where you improve.
Yeah,
a clear goal on where to improve.
And here's the other thing: there's been big talks about NWSL to St. Louis. All of a sudden, you have this beautiful facility for $25K. I'm pretty sure a lot of the NWSL teams are like $10K max stadiums. You have this $25K stadium. Move the women there. Build something else in St. Louis.
We're building another
$40K, $45K
on the riverfront.
Oh, just bring all the soccer here to St. Louis.
Are we allowed to have a $40K stadium for MLS? I feel like I think there's a restriction because they don't want to see empty stadiums, but St. Louis is different.
We're mold breakers.
Yeah.
So that was for you, Jack Olwig. And then finally, the last one we're covering. And I guess I can just kind of free shoot these players at you guys. But it's from Pants-a-lot 11. Which expiring contracts in December will City drop? Or who's going to be dropped after their contract expires? Who's going to be re-signed? So I have a list of all of the
Rapid
expiring.
fire?
We can rapid fire.
Okay.
So John Nelson
Dropped.
John Bell.
He's a good depth piece. If he
Yeah.
wants more minutes, then probably drop. But if he's fine with being rotation, probably resign.
Yeah.
I agree with
He
that.
looked good in that last game.
This one's going to be a hard one. Jared Stroud.
Drop.
Resign.
Wow.
If we
Do
can
you want to
get
talk
away,
about that more?
if we can get away with paying him $84,000, what he brings to the team is like his value to contract is like probably highest on the team.
I think
we're
if
gonna
you
be
give
honest.
Lutz a summer to find the European Jared Stroud who can just shoot, you know what I mean? Or has any bag, I think that happens. I think that's so doable in the summer. So I'm dropping him.
AZ
Resign.
We're keeping him as long
Resign.
as we can.
all day.
He might be sold though for like a bag.
Well, that's the thing is, do we need to re-sign him in order to sell him for a bag? Because otherwise,
Probably.
can't he go somewhere on a free?
Is
we
it?
would need
Yeah.
to. We would need to re-sign.
so we
him.
need to resign.
Man,
Yep.
if we let him go on a free, I'm gonna
yak.
shoot up the club.
Okay. All right.
Just kidding. It's a joke.
On the internet, in game only. Lucas Bartlett.
Drop.
Same situation as John Bell. To
I
me.
feel like I'd rather have John Bell over Lucas
honestly
Bartlett.
me too.
Yeah.
I might have to agree. Sam Adeniran,
Resign.
Keep him.
re-sign. Celio,
Yes, keep him.
Keep.
Akil Watts,
Keep. Resign. Resign.
Yeah,
Resign.
I think he gets another year.
and
Sure.
Mark Hannick.
Resign. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Best signing we've made so far out of two, but
Yeah.
still.
I need him to get in the weight room. I know I'm not one to talk, but like I'm also not playing professional soccer.
Dude, he's gotten so much better. His one like poor game was the Sporting KC game, and he's only improved since then.
Yeah,
I
he is
agree.
promising.
Didn't he come on in the Minnesota game and like literally was playing like right wing? I swear he was
He
playing
came on.
so high.
He came
up the
on for
field.
John Bell, and then they probably rearranged to
Heber
have
probably
like
went center back.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Well, cool. So that's our expiring contracts. That's for you, Pants-a-lot 11, and that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun answering community questions and being a part of the community.
We'll
so,
definitely do that going forward as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know we didn't get all the questions. We just hand selected a few of them. So
yeah,
Might
we
do a dedicated episode to questions.
right.
Yeah.
Bring somebody on, maybe.
maybe in
we'll
the
have to
off
wait and see.
season, bring somebody on. I like it.
Yep.
Looking ahead, St. Louis City takes on Sporting Kansas City September 30th at 7:30
Revenge time.
at City Park. I'm so glad we get a third match. Not totally sure why, but
I am kind of like upset about it. Like, why the fuck are we playing them 3 times?
I'm happy about it because we need a revenge match. After that last game, that was some bullshit.
It's true.
Also, like, we don't play every team twice. So, like, if we're going to play any team 3 times, might as well be Sporting
Yeah.
KC.
Might as
Yeah.
well grow a rivalry.
Yeah. Like, we play some teams once. We play other teams no times.
Yeah.
We play KC 3 times. So, whatever. If
It's
you're not
just
going to make it,
Yeah.
you're not going to be 2 games per team, then whatever. Just do whatever you want.
We've already kind of mentioned the Johnny Russell suspension for his red card last game, so he won't be available. I'm sure that Sporting KC fans will take every
Excuse.
excuse they can get for what's about to happen in City Park on Saturday. The first game we played them in City Park, 4-0.
Yep. Easy
We didn't even
clap.
have Klauss.
Nope.
We didn't even have Klauss.
Indy Vasilev masterclass performance. The true St. Louis, not born, but has been created inside of him, the St. Louis lad. I'm friggin' pumped, man. It's going to be such a good game.
I think all our hitters start. Klauss starts.
Lowen,
AZ starts. Lowen starts. Nielsen starts. Berkey starts. Casey's,
Parker,
they have not felt that wrath yet.
Mark Hannick.
whole week of rest.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
another big
there's no reason to rotate.
Yep.
one.
Yep.
I would imagine Carnell at this point is thinking, all right, this is probably going to be my playoff lineup. Maybe he still has a final few tinkering moments,
Yeah.
few final tweaks that he could make, but I think he's finalizing his playoff lineup, and that's what I'd like to see against KC.
I think I pretty much know who's starting down the middle for you guys, but who is starting in that left wing, left midfield position for you?
We doing a 4-4-2 diamond?
I'm saying a 4-2-3-1.
That's
With
like
Klauss
my
up top.
default.
Yeah,
like
that's
my
kind of the default
kind
that they run with, but it does evolve throughout the game. So let's just call it a 4-2-3-1. And who's your left midfielder? Not in the double pivot.
So who's the double pivot? Leuven and Blom?
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking.
And then Klauss up top.
Yeah.
I feel like
AZ in the middle is who
Okay.
I have in the middle.
I mean, it's hard.
This is really the only position that I feel like is up for debate. Maybe you talk about right back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I'd probably, like, if Alm is healthy, Alm's going to be on the right and maybe Indy there on the left.
Indy on the left.
I feel like our strongest formation is not the 4-2-3-1. I feel like when we play with two strikers with Gioacchini and Klauss, that's when we look the best, especially with Markinich on the left. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if Akil Watts or Jake Nerwinski is playing on the right because they both will get up and attempt to cross the ball.
Yeah.
And I just think just having four midfielders like play pretty centrally, because even when we do play the 4-2-3-1, our wingers don't really get out wide. Like, we compress so narrow.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense to me to have Gioacchini and Klauss, or even a Deneron, one of the two up there. Because I feel like, are three of our best players. Like,
Okay, so
especially for scoring goals.
If we go with the 4-4-2 diamond formation, who is playing on that left side for you?
I mean, I think Leuven has been playing there when we do that formation, with Blom like center defensive mid.
Yeah.
And then AZ up top. So really,
and then Indy is the other side.
That's who I would put.
Yeah.
Carnell has been putting Stroud a lot.
Yeah.
Which is kind of more like, what do you need out of the game? Like, do you need more control? Like, if we're going to have a lot more possession, then we probably want Indy. But if we're going to be pressing more, then it's probably Stroud.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw against LAFC, is like that entire first half, we were trying to play build up. We were trying to play possession, and we didn't see Jared Stroud start that game. So,
yeah. Well, versus Sporting KC, they will have possession for a majority of that game. So you probably see Stroud get the start.
Yep.
And
or
maybe
Alm if he's back.
Yeah, if Alm's back, and then you see Indy on the right. I mean, if Alm's not back, then you probably see Indy on the right.
Have we seen Alm play like
not for a while
as a like in the center at all?
Not
pretty
really.
much only
He's
been
a
up
winger.
top or on the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what he does there. I guess he's kind of small to be playing in the middle.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, he's just. I think that's his spot. Is he's going to play forward, he's going to play wide, and that's him. That's his bag.
He's good at running in behind.
Yeah,
I don't know if
he's
I really
quick.
want him like being a
true. That's a good
maestro
point.
through the midfield. So
Score predictions to bring it all home.
3-0.
Yep.
5-0
Wow.
is what I'm hoping for.
See, I think they're definitely not scoring with Johnny Russell out.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion,
They still have Polito.
they do, and Soloy. He's nothing to turn up your nose at. But
Alan Pulido red card in this one. I can feel it. I can sense it from a million miles away.
yeah, I like the 3-0 call.
Okay.
I think Klauss gets 2. And then there's a hodgepodge goal. I don't know. Somebody else. Who do you have scoring?
Indiana.
Indiana.
I think Leuven scores 1, Klauss scores 1, Gioacchini scores 1.
Yep. Gioacchini hat trick, maybe. That'd be so
that'd
good.
Be so nice.
That's the one thing that I think I was a little bit upset about, was like, Joa was on track to compete for Golden Boot, and he kind of stopped getting the starts there for a little while. And Dineron was red hot, and so I do kind of understand it, but at the same time, like, Joa could have been up there, like USMNT prospect.
Didn't he also like hurt his shoulder?
He did have the shoulder injury.
So
and he also
that
played like so many games in a row because Klauss was out and Dineron was on loan.
That's true.
So we were just like, all the weight of the world was on Gioacchini, and he did so well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
really-
You can't be too upset.
Yeah.
He really grew into it too, especially at first, because like he even says it himself, like he doesn't like being the main striker, like the main man. So he really, developed into that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. God, we look so good going into playoffs. I'm freaking hyped.
I know. Imagine we fucking win the MLS Cup our inaugural year.
I
Red
did
October.
ask some people outside the stadium that exact question in a way. So be looking for that video as it comes out probably in the next 2 days here.
Turn up.
Thank you for sending in your questions. Do you guys have anything else? Come on, City.
Come on, City.
Top of the league.
See you boys and girls and NBs Saturday. Bing bong.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.